Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. We did take a look at the tutorial mission from the hero side point of view on the test server way back when. And now we're way overdue to take a look at the tutorial from the evil villain side and also on the live server. There's been a few changes in the meantime. So let's get this party started. Let us skip the cinematic. I love those cinematics, but for the purpose of those videos, not very useful. So again, we can choose one of the pre-selected characters. We're not going to do that. So here you can see all the characters you can choose from. So if somehow you don't want to create a character, you just want to get right into the game, you can select any of those characters depending on your preferences. You decide. But today we are going to customize our character. So that will be our character: male, athletic, medium, villain, serious, the Joker. Yeah, you have to be crazy to take the Joker as your mentor. The Joker is as likely to kill you as anyone else. But this is what we're going to take today. Gadgets, staff, and acrobatics. For gadgets, sadly, very often, when you try to create a new character, if you're trying to role-play a character or cosplay a character, as some people are saying, sadly, very often, you end up taking gadgets, because whenever you try to create any characters that does not have superpowers, you end up taking gadgets. So if you want to create Batman, gadgets, Nightwing, gadgets, Green Arrow, gadgets, the Phantom, gadgets, the Green Hornet, gadgets. So it's very easy to fall into the trap of creating a whole bunch of gadget characters. At some point I had, I think, 6 or 7 gadget characters. I had to get rid of some of those. But sadly, or luckily, since we can create more characters nowadays, gadget it will be. So let us go next. For the costume, one thing I just realized about the character creation is that you may notice that the styles are in alphabetical order, but not exactly. Like basically you start again with Battlesuit, Business, Classic, and so on. It would seem that the first half are pretty much the styles that have new textures or that are completely new styles. And then you get into some of the older styles that do not have new textures. Not very important, I guess, but I remember seeing some people that were a bit puzzled about why the styles were not in alphabetical order the whole way, and I guess this explains it. That should do it for the colors. Yeah, it makes no sense like this, but it'll make a bit more sense in just a minute. Not exactly the name I was looking for, but that'll do for now. So we could skip to combat rating 333. Sadly, it'll cost us 50 bucks. Skip to level 25, I think, is 10 bucks. We could also skip the tutorial. We're not going to do that. We want to play the tutorial today, so no thanks. Let us play. And let us skip.
Lex Luthor, if you want to live, come with me, and be quiet. We don't want to alert Brainiac's sentries.
Whenever you're ready, exit paths a go.
I could have sworn calculator.
My associate Calculator will help us navigate our way through the ship. You can trust him, as much as you can trust anyone, that is.
I don't trust anyone. Before we do that, let's customize the look of our character a little bit. That is one of their new retextured face mask. Way back when, the colors of the eyes in the face mask would be the same color as the eyes of the character. But nowadays, it's actually one of the colors of the face mask. I'm not sure why I have black selected twice. Let's go for red for the 4th color. It's not exactly it, but that'll do for now. Oh, and the weapon. Oh yeah. I never really used the staff all that much. Well, I did use it a few times, but not all that much. So if I struggle a bit using the various combos with the staff, I hope you guys can find it in your hearts to forgive me. It's very tempting to purchase some of the styles I'm still missing. But I already have most of those styles in my shared bank. So I'm going to resist the urge of purchasing some of those styles using replay badges. I may end up purchasing a few styles using replay badges down the line. There is one style we can purchase actually for free. Let's go for it. And yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, I am recreating the evil Riddler. So enough stalling, let us talk to our friend Lex Luthor.
Finally, you are integral to my plans.
Exit's blocked, so smash your way through.
So square is the melee attacks, triangle is the ranged attacks.
Calculator.
There we go.
Progress update.
Go figure there's Brainiac sentries on this Brainiac ship, and you're gonna have to fight them. Good luck.
Delightful.
Next time, try using your brain.
You impress even me.
If you're hearing a bit of a
Sure,
squeak in
not
the
too
background,
shabby. You might even survive.
if you're hearing a bit of squeak in the background, it's an evil Rocky. He's trying to hide a piece of cheese and he doesn't know where to hide it. So right now he's going ooh, 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 trying to find a place to hide his cheese.
Damage sustained.
Poor Rocky.
You're in my way.
So once in a while, sadly as we play, you might hear our friend Rocky in the background. Nothing I can really do to help that.
Okay, I guess the exit's above you.
So we have a few healing barrels over here. Oh, there's a L3. So if you press L3, you go into acrobatic mode. And technically it would allow you to go also into super speed mode. We don't have that option just yet. If we go into our traits,
Calculator, my patience wears thin.
Okay.
Luthor's so
This more to your
impatient.
liking?
So basically
There's
L3,
a good boy there, calculator.
so basically down the line, L3 will allow us to be able to use a rocket assisted glide in order to be able to travel a bit faster, especially in the open world. Inside, not really useful. Inside, we're more going to use our grappling hook. Although the rocket assisted glide will also unlock our grappling hook somehow. And again, there's no reason not to destroy those healing barrels. Normally those healing barrels restore some health. And they should restore some power. There was a few changes at some point. So I have to admit I'm not even sure if that is still true. But way back when, it would restore health and power.
Activate.
It should still do that, at least for the health part.
Repairs initiated.
But at this point, I just use it barrels as a reflex, so I couldn't even tell you exactly what they do. And
You
here,
will not survive the will of Brainiac.
again here they're showing how to use L3, but it doesn't matter if you use L3 or not. When you fall, doesn't matter how high, you never take any damage.
Damage detected.
Stupid robots.
I know there's lots of games where if you fall a certain amount, you'll start taking damage. Not in this universe online. In this universe online, when you fall, it's just the superhero landing. I'll get rid of those arachnids, and I'll show you again.
Damage.
And you just got superpowers. Let's
And
hope
here-
those new abilities don't make Lex jealous.
And here we are learning the ability taser pull. So we're gonna have to press here they mentioned the square button because that is where they placed the ability. That is not what I do. Let's go to our loadout. Normally what I do is that I'll put the ranged abilities on the triangle button. The reason for that is quite simple. If I'm already doing a range attack and I want to do another range attack, I don't even have to switch button. I just press the trigger and it just happens without me even thinking about it. And I'm sure, can we go back up? So here, this is where you can fall from. So let's do the superhero landing. I didn't do it. I'm very disappointed. Ah, I guess that wasn't high enough to do the superhero landing. I'm very disappointed now. Yeah, not high enough, I guess. Oh, and we got a weapon ability. Let's go for tap, hold, tap. Let's try it out. Tap, hold, and tap. Ah, that is so cute. So for the loadout, basically, what I'll do is that I'll put, if there's powers that are sort of melee powers, I'll put them on the square button. That way, if I'm already doing some melee attacks, and then I want to use a melee power, all I have to do is pull the trigger. So I already explained for the triangle. If I'm already doing a range attack, again, all I have to do is pull the trigger for the ranged attack. For the circle button, usually I'll put my supercharge there. The reason for that is very, very simple. The very first time I played, when I rearranged my powers, when I did gain access to the supercharge, that is where the game ended up putting the supercharge, and I got used to using the supercharge there. That's pretty much that simple. Usually, if I have a shield ability, I will put it here. At this point, I don't even think about it if I need a shield. And here, usually, there's various abilities that I'll put there. I would usually put an ability on the X that has a whole wide area of effect, like something like maybe Inferno. Or if I have a heal over time ability, I would put it there or stuff like that. I know that there are some people that would put their abilities 1, 2, 3, 4, and they would just cycle through those abilities 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess if you play on PC, it does make sense. So like under your keyboard, yeah, you just press 1, 2, 3, 4. On the controller, no matter what you do, yeah, your thumb has to travel across the controller to do 1, 2, 3, 4. As opposed to, if you're doing what I'm doing, very often your thumb doesn't even need to travel. If you're already doing a ranged weapon attack, your thumb doesn't even have to move. All you have to do is pull the trigger. So I guess depending if your muscle memory or if you're used to playing on PC, yeah, you might go 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're used to playing on the controller, then you may have a loadout that requires to move your thumb as little as possible. And of course, seeing how I have a whole bunch of characters, whenever I create a new character and whenever I have to set up a new loadout, I try to set it up pretty much the same way so that I don't even have to think about it. My muscle memory will already be used to whatever loadout I'm using, even if I use a different character. So, enough stalling. Let us continue.
What
So
are
again
you
here, they're
doing
trying to show you
over
to use the
here?
taser pull, but I did put the taser pull on a different button. So the hint
Just
doesn't really
Pleasant
apply to me.
surprise. You're no pushover. My exit takes you through the AI core, and I doubt they'll just let you waltz on through.
Now, if you're new at playing DC Universe Online, yeah, maybe you should follow whatever instructions the game is telling you. But once you start knowing what you're...
Overseer? And here I thought Brainiac was starting to pull his punches.
But once you start knowing what you're doing,
This will be your
you can sort of break the
doom.
rules. So here they're telling you to block, but as you can see, it takes quite a while for the EEViLL NPC to attack you. And when you block, there's nothing that really happens. As opposed to, let's see if we can... come on, charge, charge! Like if he charges you and you break out, to block and to break out is the same button. You have to press R1 to block, and it's also R1 to break out. And you can also block and roll.
unexpected resistance?
And there's a few barrels here, so there's no reason not to break them. Sadly, we already have a full health and full power, so it doesn't really matter. Although you don't have to break them, you can also carry them with you. I'll try to do that with the next one.
Ugh, not thrilled at all that Brainiac garbage. How about we blow it up? Keep heading to the AI core. Show them how it's done. Looks like all the best villains are showing up for the mayhem. And then there's you.
Stop the human.
So as you've noticed, the taser pull can pull enemies towards you.
Damage detected.
It could be used to pull not just one enemy, but a whole group, as you saw. Like if you pull one of the enemies, and the rest of the group will come towards you, as opposed to if you jump into the whole bunch of enemies, you might get the snot beaten out of you. Let's break this one. So for the... oh, let's break that one too. So for the healing barrels, if somehow you don't need health right now, you don't have to break the healing barrel right away. You can just bring it with you. And then when you meet some
Stop
evil
the
enemies,
human
you break it, and then you can heal yourself as you're fighting those enemies.
modulating power. Adjusting directives. Inhibition.
I guess I'm gonna have to make this tutorial with a mental character at some point. With mental, there's an ability called telekinesis that you can use. That if you use the ability on an NPC, it grabs items that are nearby and throws them at the NPC. So basically, it would take this little barrel over here and throws them at the NPC you're fighting, and then you would get the benefit of the barrel without even needing to pick it up. It was one of the fun bits I had with mental way back when. Ah, the memories.
Repairs initiated. Damage detected. Systems damaged. Systems damaged. Damage detected.
So again, as you see, there's a whole bunch of healing barrel. Break them all. There's no reason not to. You don't get a feat for not using the barrels. Actually, it's quite the opposite.
Consider this a hostile takeover.
You do get a feat for breaking the barrels.
Reinforcements
And the top
incoming.
feat is like 1,000 barrels. So that's a lot of barrels.
Reinforcements incoming.
Damage detected. Modulating power. Sulfur gear offline.
We're going to sabotage the ship and send Brainiac a message not to mess with Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Deactivate the shielding first. Use the terminal.
Oh, level up. So let us tweak our loadout a bit. So again, this is pretty much a ranged ability. So I'll put it on my triangle here. Also, usually on the right side, I'll put, if I have a pull move, like the taser pull, I'll put it to the right side. So again, that way I know that if I need a pull, it is right there. There's still a few barrels. I could have sworn there was another one. I guess, oh, there it is. Oh, we'll break it after. So once we defeat all the evil enemies over here, you have to activate the console over here.
Now destroy the AI core. I want to see the boom.
And now we have to destroy the little pillars over here. The evil targeting is, okay. Doesn't matter. So if you press L1, there we go. So you can see if I press L1, you can see the target is locking on this target over here. So that way, even if I'm over here and I start attacking, I'm not going to start attacking this target. I'm going to be locked on that target no matter what. And you can cycle through the targets using your D-pad. So with left and right on the D-pad, you can cycle through all the targets over here. So if you're, it may not seem like much, but there's some maps sometimes where there's a whole bunch of junk all over the map, and you end up targeting the wrong thing all the time. So here, if there's multiple targets and you want to hit a very specific target, you can lock on the target you want. Like you can see here, it locked on, I don't know what it locked on, but it didn't lock on the target I want. There we go.
Might want to hurry to the hangar before the whole ship explodes.
So sometimes you have to be a bit careful also, because sometimes the targeting will try to target the item that's the furthest away from you for some reason. So you may have to be a bit careful on what exactly you're targeting. But once you get used to it, you won't even think about it. It happens.
Fight, you fool!
Your muscle reflexes do it automatically.
Whose side are you on?
None will survive.
So no need to fight those robots. You have to get out of here.
Why don't I even the odds?
Witness now the folly of your efforts. Nothing can escape the control of Brainiac.
So much for sneaking out. Teleporter's right there if you do happen to survive.
Riddle me this. Who's green and mechanic and about to be dead.
Attack acknowledged. Further analysis required. Recalibrating defenses.
I should probably talk about the power interaction a little bit. If you're wondering why Brainiac caught fire,
Data.
if you electrify Brainiac and then if you use the fear gas on him,
Damage
it does put him on fire. It's what is called a power interaction. So basically, the two powers are interacting with each other. It's one of the
damaged.
it's one of the things that Gadget has. Actually, most powers, pretty much every powers have some sort of power interaction. But depending on which power you use, the interaction will be different.
Insufficient. Activating subroutines. Do not think you have won, for I wear many shells. I am the source.
Well, well. Luckily, I keep one step ahead of the curve, or I might even be tempted to see you as a threat.
Bing, bang, boom. And the teleporter's working. Oh yeah, old Calculator here is the world's greatest hacker.
We're with all our friends, our
You
evil
sure
friends.
took your time.
I didn't want to miss all the fun. Welcome to the jungle.
We shall show them fear. This will be fun!
I'm not here by choice, so lead on.
They were not too happy to be here. So one more barrel. Let's talk about a bit about the power interaction I just mentioned. So if we take a look at our loadout, so here you can see that the taser pull electrifies enemies, making them vulnerable to electric effects. That's not what happens though. There's also other power interactions, like it interacts with dazed, with frostbitten. But actually what happens here is that, so we electrify the enemies with the taser
What
pull.
am I paying you for? Send them out already.
The ship is still exploding, you know.
Yeah, we're going. And then when you use the fear gas, on an electrified enemy, it takes additional damage. Also, it burns when used against electrified enemies. And of course, then it applies that burning enemies take additional damage. So there's a whole bunch of power interactions with the gadget powers, but we'll take a look at those in a future video. So let's get out of here before a calculator gets a heart attack. Oh, and here we have the little hint. Oh, skip the cinematics. Again, I love those, but not useful for our purpose. And here we have the little hint about equipping gear, so you have to go to your inventory. And you can see you have your cape over here. Just click on the cape, and it will put it automatically where it needs to go. Although you could also manually pick it up if you want to. Doesn't really matter. Both options do the same thing. And if you're wondering what the little annoying sound is, it's that over here. There are a bunch of investigations that have been added to the safe houses or the polling stations. But we'll take a look at that next time. Let's go pick up our mail. I've got a little mask from our friend the calculator. He's so nice. Oh, it is the classic ocular domino. Great. So right now we have the ocular domino. And here we have the classic ocular domino. It used to be the classic full slimline, but they've changed it for some reason. And you may say that the eyes are a bit shiny with the classic version. And also with the classic version, the color of the eyes was linked. The color of the eyes of the mask was linked to the color of the eyes of the character. So here you can see the eye colors with the classic one. And there you can see the difference with the new mask. It takes the color from the color palette from the mask as opposed to the color palette of the eyes. Classic one, new mask. Classic one, new mask. So they have changed the textures of some of the styles, but also they have changed also how the colors are separated, or what the colors are linked to. And I guess one last thing before we leave. So once you get out of the Brainiac mission, there is this little vendor over here that you can come and see.
You need any goods, friend?
So it will be the first vendor you can meet that sells you new gear, although some of the gear sadly requires level 9. But you can start upgrading your gear right now with this little vendor. But that will be a story for another time. So this was the new tutorial from the evil villain point of view. And yeah, something I haven't done in quite a while. I will level up this character to level 30. So next time we will take a deeper look at the safe house and also at the early missions in the game. So see you guys next time.